We know that there's a game that's been switched. The Buffalo game is being played in Detroit against the Browns. Now this guy, please welcome Sal Capaccio to come on here and let us know everything going on.
Outside.
Sal, okay, I love that you're outside. This looks amazing.
I am.
Are you single-handedly going to pick up all these players on snowmobiles and take them to the airport, or what is the deal? How are they going to get around? What are we going to do?
Really don't know. So thanks for having me. As always, guys, love being on with you. But one of the reasons I wanted to come out here, I'm actually in my backyard, and believe it or not, there's not much snow here. Now my son has a snow day here. He's actually out here playing with me right
All
there.
right,
So
what's up, little
he's got a snow
Capaccio?
day right there. Okay, so there you go. That's
Hopefully a little
Max.
drummer.
But there you go. Yeah, actually he is. So you know what? About I would say straight ahead from where I'm standing, about 13 miles from me is Highmark Stadium, and you guys have seen some of the pictures. It's incredibly buried under snow. You can't move. It's paralyzing. Here, it's not that bad. I mean, you probably could have had school today, but it's going to be coming here. We're going to be getting it. That's what lake effect does. I would say another 8 miles this way to my left is the airport. Getting people from the stadium, Orchard Park, to the airport is going to be an issue. Bills are scheduled to leave. I'm on the charter. I'm on the team's radio broadcast tomorrow afternoon at some point. There's going to be a lull where there's going to be a window. But between then and how you get to the airport is going to be challenging. And I'm not really sure. In 2014,
Sal, how do they
literally
know?
had
Sal.
snowmobiles picking people up.
Sal, how do they know they're that dialed in with the lake effect? They got Donardo up there reading a Doppler. How do they know that there's going to be a lull? And was there ever a thought to get out of town sooner to get to Detroit? Because it seems like the Buffalo Bills go from having a home game in their world with Bills Mafia to having all of the negatives of the game. Might not be able to get out. You're not playing in your own stadium. Can't have practice today. You got to do virtually. Was there ever a thought to leave early and kind of get it all set up, or no?
I think what it came down to, Pat, was just because they thought all week they were having a home game. And even though there was some talk about it, no one really kind of knew what was going to happen. And when we talked to Brandon Bean on a Zoom call yesterday, he actually indicated even getting a charter that late from the airline was like a little bit of a challenge in having all of that scheduled. They had to have their practices and meetings, and they had to kind of operate as if that wasn't going to happen. But of course, contingency plans. So I think there were so many moving parts, so many logistical issues to go on that it just didn't make it very feasible. Now, how do they know? They're just good at weather, man. I mean, you live here in Buffalo. The meteorologists are really awesome. They know how this stuff works. Now, are they always perfect? No, but so far everything they've said has been true, which is it started south, Orchard Park. It's going to move up north where I am. I live in the city. It's going to go to the north towns a little bit, then go back towards Orchard Park. But in the meantime, like I said, tomorrow we should have a few hours where there's some time to get the plane out. The question is getting the players out of Orchard Park into the airport, which sounds like it's going to be challenging.
Connor, you have something?
Yeah, Sal, is there any thought for the Bills players to stay in Detroit until Thanksgiving because they're playing there next week as well? Or are they probably just going to go come back to Buffalo for a couple of days and head back to Detroit?
It's a great question, Connor, and I've been asked that a lot by people here in Buffalo as well. And honestly, by Sunday, the snow is actually going to be gone as far as coming from the sky. And by then, you'll have a good probably 36, 48 hours for snow removal and things like that to happen here in Orchard Park in the city. So by then, it really just becomes a normal Sunday game followed by a Thursday night game. And it actually will be way more disruptive to stay in Detroit for a few days than just come home and do everything you normally do, then go back to Detroit like you normally would, whether it was in Detroit or Cleveland or New York or New England for a Thursday night game. So I get why people would think that, but honestly, just coming back it's such a short flight. It's an hour and a half flight. Coming back here, getting back into the facility, practicing for a few days, and then getting back out makes more sense.
Sal, I see a lot of people think that they just don't want to play in the snow or something, right? Like Buffalo, they can't play in the snow. That's not the situation, obviously. It's everything surrounding it, right? Can you tell us exactly what the biggest problems are with this snowfall?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that because I think there's been, quite frankly, some irresponsibility on some people kind of putting it out there that it's all about the stadium and not having a dome and the team doesn't want to play here and things like that. Here's the deal, guys. You have essential medical security emergency responders, people like that who just can't even get anywhere in Orchard Park. How are you going to have 70,000 people going to a town and going to a football game if you can't get people in and out safely? There are literally hazards right now, accidents going on and people stuck right now out in those areas. You can't get people in and out. This is not about playing a football game in a stadium. This is about the safety of people here in Western New York. Now, I get it. After hearing all that, if you say, well, heck with it, we live in Buffalo, we're tough, let's go do it. If you still feel that way, that's fine. But I understand. I mean, the community has to do what's best for the people and the residents. How can you divert those resources to areas where you would need it for a football game when you might need that going around and getting medical and essential personnel to different places?
Yeah, and normally people would be on the side of helping everybody as opposed to one particular business or something like that. So, but I understand that home games in the NFL, there's only so many of them. There's only so many of them. And the Buffalo
right. There's
Bills
no doubt.
people, is losing out on one, especially with a couple years ago being COVID, right? And the team being great and missing out on that entire run. I could see why there's some members of the Bills Mafia that want to be there. It sounds like the right decision's being made. Now, we don't even have this. Do we have this issue? If there's a dome, Paisan, because I heard, hey, Paisan, hold on.
Hey.
If there's a dome up there, every day, guess what it is in that building, no matter what's going on outside. 73, sunny, perfect, and I understand it would not be the Buffalo way, but has that ever been something that's ever been considered because of situations like this happening in week 11, let alone we got 7 more weeks after this one. Who knows what the weather will continue to be? Has that ever been a conversation piece? I'm saying this because I was a punter, obviously, so everybody wants to attack me. I'm only doing it strictly from selfish bias reasons. But nonetheless, has that ever been talked about?
Oh, of course, Pat. I mean, we're going through this now. There is a new stadium coming to Buffalo. It's going to open in 2026.
A lot of money,
it will
right?
Not be a dome. It will be a canopy covering it, but that has been discussed. If they wanted a dome, there was a lot of studies that said
that covering the crowd. What do you mean exactly?
SoFi?
That's SoFi.
65% of the seats will be covered from the elements. So if you're in the stadium, and it's snowing or raining, you won't really get that. It's going to be designed a little bit differently too. It's going to help out with the wind and things like that. But really what it came down to was, quite frankly, financials and costs. And you would be adding another $500 million to $1 billion to put a dome up. If you wanted to do it downtown, it would have been another couple of years. All that stuff's been considered. And again, I'll just reiterate, if they had a dome in Orchard Park right now, we'd still have this game probably moved because of where because of the situation going on here. Look, I'll say this though, competitively, because of the team they have right now, Josh Allen, the way they can throw the ball, I understand it would be way better to have 70,000 screaming Bills Mafia inside a stadium for a game on Sunday. But guys, they get to play in a climate-controlled dome and have the perfect elements for Josh Allen to throw the ball. This could also be a benefit to the Buffalo Bills and their offense.
Oh, yeah.
Todd?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sal, you mentioned Josh Allen. Weather notwithstanding, what's his status like with the elbow, and also guys like Jordan Poyer? I know the Bills are a little banged up right now. What's the status of those guys moving forward?
So Josh has been limited all week at practice, and it's not because he had any sort of setback with his elbow. It's just really maintaining the elbow injury at this point. And he did not throw during any portion of practice the media was allowed to watch this week. He came out for he didn't come out for the regular normal pregame warm-ups last week like he normally does. We asked him why. He said it's honestly just to not throw as many footballs as he has to. So I think he's just maintaining it, a lot of rest, relaxation, and then, being ready when he's able to be ready. So he should be good to go. Doesn't seem like there's any trouble there. Jordan, man, he's got that. He looks like he's a wrestler now. He's in WWE. He's got that big brace on his elbow. Right. You guys know, you've talked to him, and hopefully they get him back. We'll see. It looks like he's trending maybe towards playing, and they need him, right? They have some safety issues right now. We know what happened with the Justin Jefferson catch. Would like to see Jordan back out there. Hopefully, not putting him in harm's way or anything like that. So hopefully that's the case. The issue right now, guys, is there's actually a bug going through the team of some sort. It's non-COVID related. They've had several players miss practice with illnesses this week. Hopefully they get some of them back. And they are going to miss Tremaine Edmonds this week, Greg Rousseau, the edge rusher, and Tre'Davious White, who's still, he's active, but he's not playing. And there's still a lot of mystery of why exactly that is. Is it a mental hurdle he needs to get over? Is it physically still not able to play? But he's been ruled out already by Sean McDermott again.
All right, Sal, thank you so much for stopping by on this glorious Friday. Please stay safe over there, right, AJ?
Absolutely. Sal, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I don't know what's going to happen, but you know what? I know we're going to turn to you to see what the answers are and what we should be doing. So thanks, Sal. Really appreciate it, man. Sal,
always there for you guys, man. Have a great weekend. Thanks,
man.
Yes, sir.